listening to this record, it made me think about a funny interaction I once had on here a long time ago where I got a DM from someone who I'm assuming was a woman. And she told me that she decided to follow me and that she liked my content because I liked a lot of women's music, or I talked about a lot of women's music. And she found that refreshing because men don't like women's music, which is something that I do understand to a degree. That doesn't apply to me. I love a lot of women's music, a lot of female fronted bands or female artists. Literally, the top 10 that I had last year on here, my number one favorite album of the year was from a woman. And I also feel like it's important for me to have a balance on here as far as not just the genres that I choose to review, but also the representation of different genders, races, and all different identities. I think it's important to have a proper mixture of that and feel like all different corners are covered as far as who out there is making art. Now, again, I said thank you to this person, and then she responded, "Don't forget that you're a man, though," which I just found funny. I never talked to that person again. I don't even know if she still follows me, but that made me laugh. Anyway, this is the brand new album from the last dinner party from the Pyre. So, this is the sophomore album from the last dinner party. And on here, you have another heaping helping of Baroque and indie pop, glam and indie rock. The instrumentation and the song structures are very whimsical, very sweeping. I feel like this is actually even more lush in comparison to their debut album. That doesn't mean that I think that this is better than their debut record, but I also feel like that this is even more impressive and mature in the songwriting. I also love the vocals. The vocals on here are absolutely gorgeous. The harmonies and melodies are all really great. And one thing I will say though, and this is not a negative necessarily, but for some odd reason, I don't feel like that this is something that I'm going to go back to a lot because I didn't go back to their debut record that much. Even though I did like it, I appreciated it enough, but for some odd reason, I don't know, this particular sound, Baroque pop in general is not something I find myself listening to that much, even though I tend to always enjoy it. And I think that this record is for sure worth your time, but I don't know if this is necessarily going to be something that I'm listening to a year from now. Also, I know that this is low hanging fruit, but whenever I listen to this band or this record in particular, I feel like I should be wearing a shirt that has ruffles on it. And unfortunately, I don't own a shirt that has ruffles on it. And I feel like I should be drinking mead and saying things like horses for my men or women. Women can ride horses too. And also, it's unfortunate that a guy that looks like me can't go back to that time because, it wouldn't be good for me. I wouldn't be able to just walk around freely and doing whatever I want. It makes you think about how we can't do a movie like Back to the Future with, let's say, a young Denzel Washington or something like that, because as soon as he went back in time, he'd be in jail. Something bad would happen to him immediately. And also, that makes me think about a conversation I had once about how we couldn't have a black James Bond because he would not be able to get away with half the stuff that James Bond gets away with. Like, can we have a black secret agent or a black 007? Like, this is unfortunate for me to admit, or a way for me to think like that's not right. But if you think about it, it's true. Like, go through all of the James Bond films and make him a black guy, he he wouldn't be as successful, unfortunately. Am I making sense? I like this album. Despite what I said about not going back to it in a year, I did really enjoy this experience, and I feel like that this is something to really take in and enjoy. This is a good record. high quality stuff. 8 sticks of butter, peace, love, butter.